This is McKenna Collins, host of Table Talk. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys.
Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
Brought to you by...
The Good God Company.
Oh no.
What have you done?
There goes our tripod.
Keith had one job.
Well, go get it.
You scared Mr. Fuzzy Face.
Oh, you scared Mr. Fuzzy Face and everything. Coffee with Keith and Katie, Public House Media, brought to you by The Good God Company. Gonna try this one more time. Pardon my hand in your face.
We need a new little tripod.
We need a new little tripod. You know what's going on with the tripod. We'll see if it's
What? We're boring our viewers.
there you go. Okay, boom. Back.
Are we on?
Nope, because it's gonna. You know what? Dude, gotta do it like this. One more attempt.
Okay, let's try.
Is that better?
Don't touch it.
I can't.
It's fine.
No, can't do that one. We'll do
Just use my coffee. That's fine.
using Katie's cup.
Yay!
Well, back with you.
Hi guys.
Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media, brought to you by The Good God Company. Check them out at thegoodgodcompany.com and see all the cool stuff that they have to offer there. Wow, what an interesting start to the show.
We lost our one viewer. It's over. Wow. Well, we're going to continue on.
Obviously, what a perfect time for the tripod to just completely crash on us. You're going to have a new one going into Thursday. So come check us out again on Thursday for a new tripod.
Monday.
On Thursday.
What's
Next
today?
Thursday. Today is Monday.
Heavens.
All right. Moving forward. Hope you all had a good weekend. I was in Baltimore. Got to see an Orioles game on Friday night. What a great ballpark. Camden Yards. An outstanding ballpark in Baltimore. If you're in the area, I highly suggest you checking it out. I always said Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the best place I've gone to see a baseball game. Camden Yards is pretty close. They got great food.
Better than Wrigley?
Got great sightlines. Yeah, well, I mean, Wrigley, it's a cool stadium because it's old and it's got that history. But watching a ball game, there's no obstructive view. Great atmosphere, you know.
Well, you don't have to have an obstructive view at Wrigley. Unless it's playoffs. So.
I think Wrigley is an awesome, cool, great stadium. Do I think it's the best place in Major League Baseball to watch baseball? I don't think so. That's just me. I'm sorry, Kate.
I didn't know this about you. I'm a little upset.
You knew Busch Stadium was my favorite place to watch
I knew you
baseball.
thought it was pretty.
It is pretty.
I didn't think it was.
It's a great stadium.
Can we just go on with our topic? You're
All
upsetting
right.
me.
I'm sorry. This is our daily struggle, day-to-day lives.
This is how it is.
Anyways, so the topic of our show today is called pop culture, but
No, it's
most
called
importantly,
Google Roulette.
Google Roulette. And I will let Katie share with you the object of the game of Google Roulette.
So, we're gonna Google pop culture.
Anything on this bad day.
Yes. Whatever the first hit is, that's what we're gonna talk about. That's gonna be our show today.
We might do it a couple times depending on what it comes up with, but we're just gonna Google, as Katie said, a broad topic.
Yes.
I'm just gonna type in pop culture.
Which
We'll see what happens.
which should be good because I know nothing about pop culture. So this will all be on Keith.
All be on me, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's
do it.
try it out.
Type it in.
All right.
And you're going to have to show the viewers so they know.
I got Google up here. Pop culture. Boom.
Okay.
And the first thing that it comes up with is. It's taking a while.
Your phone is so slow.
My phone is taking a while.
The definition.
The definition of pop
Should
culture.
we talk about the definition of pop culture?
Top 10 defining pop culture moments of 2017. That's a movie.
We should have made this more specific.
Nope. All right. I'm trying to find a
top one.
pop culture. The Ringer. Nope, that's the name. That's the name of the blog. All right. 15 pop culture moments you forgot from 2015. What were you gonna say?
I wanted the phone. I wanted to take the phone away from you because you're doing it wrong.
I'm doing it wrong.
Yes.
You started to Google pop culture and see what it came up with.
And then you scrolled. We were supposed
right.
to talk about the very first
The very first
thing.
one. Okay.
Okay. Pop culture. The first actual article. NBC News. Pop culture.
Okay. So that's how we're doing. Okay.
Margot Kidder.
Who plays Lois Lane in Superman movies, dies at 69.
Oh.
That's too bad.
That's a sad one. So she played opposite Christopher Reeve.
She did. I was a big fan of those Superman movies when I was little. I love the Superman movies. Yeah, Christopher Reeves and Margot Kidder, and she was Lois Lane, and Christopher Reeve was obviously Superman and Clark Kent, and I love those movies. I watch them all the time. You have Superman 1 with Lex Luthor, obviously, and Lex Luthor was played by Gene Hackman. Yep. And that was number 1. And number 2, the 3 bad guys that were put in jail break out of their prison in outer space, and they come back and they cause havoc on the Earth. And number 3 is the one with the comedian, older guy. He passed away a while back. He was people consider him one of the greatest comedians of all time. Can't think of his name. Anyways, I loved those Superman movies. And then the 4th one was stupid, though. The 4th one was dumb.
Which one did we watch? We watched the first one, I think.
The first one. Yeah.
And I couldn't get into it. It's that style of movie. Hi, David. Thanks for joining.
David, thanks for joining us as always. It's been a nightmare so far, David.
It has. But now that you're here.
Richard Pryor. It was at the tip of my tongue. David has it.
Yeah.
David's coming through in the clutch. I love those movies. You had the Nuclear Man though, for number 4, and that was just dumb. But 1 and 2 were pretty good. 1 and 2 were good. 3 was all right. 4 sucked. But I love the movies all the same. That first scene when Superman is actually Superman, Lois Lane Superman saves Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, and about midway through the first movie, she's on the helicopter and she's about to take off from the Daily Planet, and the helicopter gets caught up in something, and the helicopter is going to crash and it's going to fall off the top of the building. And then that's when you see Superman come for the first time. He looks up and then he runs across the street into a revolving door, and you see him go like that for the first time and go, and he becomes Superman, and then he shoots himself up, and he catches Margot Kidder, Lois Lane, and saves her. And then as he's flying Lois Lane back up to the top of the rope, I don't know why he just doesn't decide to go down with Lois Lane. Like, he catches her in midair. Don't you think he would, like, gently bring her to the ground? No, he catches her, and he goes all the way back up then. But he goes all the way back up because it just seems to happen that the helicopter, boom, becomes disconnected. It's falling down to the street level, and with Lois Lane still in one hand, Christopher Reeve, boom, grabs the helicopter and back up and places it gently on the roof. I loved that when I was a kid, and it's unfortunate that Margot Kidder died because she was a big part of those movies that helped shape my childhood. Yeah, I think she was in all four. Yeah. So that's what I know about it.
I see. If I had seen it as a kid, maybe I'd like it, but we watched it when we're older, obviously, and it's just that era of movies is no good to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know much about her other than that she was Lois Lane. So, but that's unfortunate.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Only 69.
But, as I said, she was a big part of those movies that I loved when I was little. So, it was like one of those, but it was one of those things where, like, I was so little that I didn't really pay attention to the talking. I would fast forward it to the part where Superman came. So, but anyways.
I like to think of little kids fast forwarding to watch Superman.
I had a Superman cape when I was little, but it wasn't really a Superman cape. It was a bathroom towel, and my dad was actually pretty good at this. My dad drew out a Superman S and pinned it to the back of the bath towel, and I ran around with the Superman cape when I was little. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Aww.
Anyways,
okay.
Let's do one more. Let's Google Roulette.
One more. Should we stick with pop culture?
Sure, let's stick with pop culture. We'll see what comes up after this sad one.
You need a new phone.
I do need a new phone. I'm actually up for a new phone, but I'm trying to stick it out for 2 more months.
Because someone bought a MacBook. And Katie said, no, you're not spending any more money than that. Right, that's what happened.
It's not what she said. It's not at all.
Pop culture, NPR. Let's see what NPR says about pop culture.
NPR, pop culture. And it brings up
Something from Nothing, 20 years on, the enduring yada yada of Seinfeld. Oh,
okay.
The series finale aired 20 years ago today. Today the 14th?
Yeah. No, yeah, today's the 14th, tomorrow's the 15th. So that would, yeah. The yada yada, I remember that episode. I'm not a big Seinfeld guy. Didn't get into it like everyone else. I mean, it was darn near over by the time I was old enough to really appreciate it, but it really doesn't matter now. But
yeah,
I never really got into Seinfeld, but I remember what they were talking about, what you can yada 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 in a conversation. So, you yada yada yada, whatever. So, like, Katie and I, we met for coffee yesterday. Yada yada yada. We ended up back at home at 5 o'clock. Something like that, and talking about what you can and cannot, yada yada yada. It's based. I think I got it. And
they don't have any good examples on here.
but I remember the big one they were talking about if you can yada 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 sex or not while talking about a date, and I remember that was a big thing that Elaine and Jerry were talking about, and Seinfeld said, "No, you can't yada 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 that," and Elaine said, "Sure, I can. I went out with this guy. We had drinks. Yada yada yada. I never saw him again." You know. So I think I got it pretty close to that, but Seinfeld, wow, 20 years old.
It ended.
It ended 20 years ago. It ended 20 years ago. I was 10 when it ended. Oh shoot!
Don't give away our age.
I just told you guys how old I was.
I'm far younger.
Much younger than I am. Much younger.
Well, tonight's just been a disaster. I never got Seinfeld when we tried starting it again because it's on Netflix, right? Or Hulu. One of it's on something.
I think it's on one of them. We tried watching the first 2 or 3, and then we just moved on. Yeah. Not that we made a conscious decision not to watch it. It's just like one of those things that, you know.
I remember when I was younger and I'd see reruns on, and not watching it, just flipping through channels. It made me mad that Jerry Seinfeld couldn't keep a straight face. He laughed at everything and about everything. Like
you saw him laughing like on camera.
Yeah,
like laughing.
Like everyone hates that Jimmy Fallon always broke character on SNL.
He did. It was awful.
And that's how Jerry Seinfeld was for me. That's what I remember from Seinfeld, and I haven't seen a lot of it, but I just remember he's always got this look on his face that he's about to break into laughter.
And you just don't like it. Maybe that's just his face.
He broke the fourth wall.
David, are you a big Seinfeld guy?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Are all of you big Seinfeld people?
Yeah, all 2 of you watching.
Let us know.
Are you Seinfeld fans?
Watching live right now, but we'll have a lot of them come later. Anyways. Yes. So we played Google Roulette. It went pretty well.
Once we got it going, we might try it again.
I thought it was just going to be like one subject, like it would pop up and then we would go with it. But Katie thought it was best to click on an article and then move on from there.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't click on the definition. What are we going to talk about a definition?
Right, but I thought it was going to be like the first. If you typed in pop culture and then like the name Katy Perry would pop up, and then we had to talk about Katy Perry.
Oh, I thought it would be like, whatever Kim Kardashian is doing today.
I don't know. We obviously did not completely think through this episode.
No. But now we know for next time.
Yeah, but I think that was pretty fun. We can fine tune it a little bit. That's the joy of doing these things live.
Yes.
We do it live. So, I think it has come time for the show. David says, not really for Seinfeld. I think it's overrated. Not awful, just overrated. Wow. Seinfeld overrated.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say overrated.
I think I have.
It's just not for me. But I don't know if I would...
But think, this was the 90s. What else did they have? Was there anything else on television?
Friends.
In the late 90s, I think.
Full House. Not the same...
The Grown-Ups.
What do you mean the 90s? The 90s were great for
half-hour.
They had one show. The 90s were great for a half-hour sitcom.
In the whole country.
It's as if Seinfeld was the only thing on 3 networks: CBS, NBC, and ABC. Well, you only had Seinfeld. That was the only half-hour comedy there were tons of things, sweetheart.
Do you know? I never realized how old Friends is or how late it happened. But it used to be that TV networks would sign off and they'd shut off for the night. There wasn't any more content for a few hours. And they played the national anthem.
Yeah.
And there's an episode of Friends where Jennifer Aniston and probably David Schwimmer are watching the national anthem just ends and she turns off the TV. And I I really thought that was something
No
that
longer happens like
ended
that.
in like the 60s.
TV stopped.
TV stopped, you guys.
TV would just stop. You could turn the TV on, but nothing would be
It
happening.
would make that really loud noise to turn on.
Yeah. You know what? And I realized one more thing about pop culture. They still have to have that noise in movies, because I remember I was watching a movie recently, and it was a brand new flat screen TV. You turn one of those things on, it really doesn't make a noise. You know, you just turn it on, and boom, it's on. And the guy grabs the controller and goes like that, and you hear.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't make that sound anymore. But
That's true.
I think in movies, they in movies and in TV shows, they still put the sound in there for you. Anyways,
It's like the telephone symbol is still a landline
still a landline phone.
phone.
Yeah.
For cameras, like, when will it be that, can I take your picture? When will that not make sense to people?
Can I take your
Can I
picture?
take your picture?
Can I take your picture? I'm gonna take a Yui. It's what I call the selfie for other people.
When it's just you.
I don't know. That's a Parks and Rec thing. Anyways, time for NFL or NBA.
All right.
I'm gonna quiz Katie to see if she can tell me whether or not these players are NFL or NBA
players.
Number 1,
Do it.
Trevor Ariza.
Ariza?
Trevor Ariza.
Ariza?
Ariza.
A-R-R? Ariza?
A-R...
A-R.
R-I-Z-A.
Trevor Ariza.
A-R-I-Z-A.
Sounds more like a baseball name. I'm going to say basketball. I'm going to say NBA.
Correct.
Ooh!
He plays for the Houston Rockets.
Oh.
Okay. Andre Iguodala.
Definitely NBA.
Yeah, definitely NBA. Plays for the Golden State Warriors. Kyle Korver.
Now, you've had 2 NBA players. Does that mean you're going to trick me and make this one NFL? Or are you going to have me guess something that they're all related? Korver?
Kyle Korver.
Go with my gut. It sounds football. NFL.
NBA.
Ah.
Plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have a 4th one for you.
Oh.
4.
Okay.
Al Horford.
NBA.
Correct. Plays for the Boston Celtics. What do all 4 of these guys have in common?
They're all in the playoffs.
All still in the playoffs. The Cavaliers
Let me do it. So the Rangers, the Cavs, the Celtics. I forgot the other one.
the Rangers. Who do you think the Rangers are?
I thought you said the Rangers. You said, didn't you say the Texas Rangers?
I said Houston.
You said Houston Rockets.
Rockets. Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets, Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics,
Golden State
Warriors.
Boom.
I was gonna do it.
Got it. Well, I told you who the teams they played for.
I know, but I wanted to remember 30 seconds later.
Well, Katie did pretty well. 2 out of 3? 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Yeah. They're all still currently in the playoffs. The Rockets and the Warriors play tonight. And the Cavaliers got smoked yesterday by the Boston Celtics. So
how many games do they have left in their series?
6 and 7. It's game 1 tonight for the Western Conference, and they just had game 1 yesterday for the Eastern Conference. So we'll see how that goes. This show has been a little more disorganized than the rest of them. It started out with our tripod crashing to the ground and our
Mr.
phone
Fuzzy
falling
Face is
down.
still behind the fridge.
Mr. Fuzzy Face ran away in terror because there was a noise. And then we played Google Roulette, which worked out. Which eventually worked out. I was doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And then we had the normal game. So that's a nice little recap there for you on this episode of Coffee with Keith
and Katie on Public House Media.
Come see us again on Thursday at 7:30. We'll try to do it better that time with a new tripod. Everybody, have a great week, and we will see you later.